All right, some local teachers got a first-hand look at special resources available to them and their students. That's right, for the first time ever, EVPL's Central Branch hosted a resource fair, giving them a look at everything the library has to offer. They say it's just a great place for field trips. They also have new robots, material crates, and special library cards as well. One of the teachers at the event says the library is an asset for all different types of students.
It's really nice to have an array of resources for them, especially for our kids who are on different levels with their reading, having opportunities for them online and digital, and the physical resources that they have available is really nice.
Well, officials encourage educators who weren't able to attend to go ahead and still reach out.